Hello everyone, this is Otaku Showboat, and it is finally October. Or should I say, already it is October. Holy God, this month went by pretty quick, so it is time for me to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting me over this past month and in the month going forward. You can see the list of my copper tier and higher supporters right next to me, and you may notice compared to last month, the list looks a little bit different on the names and where the names are. There has been a fair bit of shuffling around, I would say, of people on Patreon. In particular, you'll notice that Boiled Nerves has moved up to the Chromium tier. Thank you so very much for that. And also, thank you, Boiled Nerves, for the copies, plural, of Subnautica Below Zero earlier in September, around the 9th, as well as a copy of PC Building Simulator, which I have basically been playing in all of my spare time since receiving it. So, thank you for that. I very much appreciate it. As for the Subnautica Below Zero, I haven't dove too much into it quite yet because it is still actually relatively early in early access, which is a little odd considering how long it's been available in early access. It is clear to me that it is not finished, and therefore I'm going to hold off a little bit until it is a bit more refined and ready, a bit more ready for consumption before I really get into Below Zero. Now, let's start off with our review of September, to then get into the various things that are going to impact our lives going into the month of October here. So, in the month of September, oh my goodness, two new series have been going on, besides the Pi Block series. You all voted, and Kratstario 2 exists now as a series. I am working on that. I have been recording that for quite some time now, including recording several episodes yesterday of Kratstario. As for the progress in that over this past month, I believe this last video pairing, I've gone into the oil by now, so already working towards chemical tech cards, and over the course of the videos to come that I recorded yesterday, I've gotten through the chemical tech cards. I've gotten through into lots of things. Lots of things have been done, and let's just say that, to sum it all up, I have my personal robotic construction bots. I have my personal construction bots, and they can do things for me now, and it's made my life so much easier because I'm not using nanobots in that series. I have that now, and I'm very excited to continue using them as I continue to record that. But you won't be seeing that video, those videos that I recorded yesterday, for the remainder of like this week going into October. I have also begun a new streaming series of Bob's Angels Space Extension, ABX, that I have called Space Angels. And this series is a result of people voting for what I should play instead of Pi Block. Now, I did say that in that poll that depending on how much continuing Pi Block received, I would continue playing it a certain number of days a week. It ended up being that I would continue playing it one day a week that I decided upon. It was on the border of 1 and 2, but I've ultimately decided on once per week for Pi Block. Pi Block viewership has been tanking, for quite some time, and I decided it was time for a change. So we are playing the ABX playthrough Space Angels going forward with the Pi Block series on Sundays. But the Pi Block series is so not viewed that I'm going to have to just stop with it. It's a waste of time at this point to spend my stream days streaming it. Even the VODs on YouTube are not getting anywhere near as many views as any of the other content. Just straight up. Even the more niche Pyanodon tutorials on topics that people don't really get to in a regular Pi Suite game, they are even outperforming the Pi Block series. It's rather nuts. Rather nuts. But anyway, that is the state on Pi Block and the new series that I have begun. As for my progress in Space Angels, we've only had 4 streams thus far of that. It is being streamed on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with the Pi Block series on Sundays. I have gone through logistic transport science, excuse me, because they renamed it in there. It's a different name for Bob's Angels. And I have been in the process of setting up the crawler robots for construction and logistics to have the beginnings of a mall that I am setting up. A mall that is focused on producing additional robots and all the things I need for rails to set up rails, because that's the next stuff that we're going to be doing going forward here, is transitioning and starting to set up rails. Although, at the very end of the last stream, I was like, oh hey, actual units of rails require having a dedicated source of stone, so I need to make a dedicated supply for stone and get that brought to the mall and have that going for me so I can actually accrue rails to build a rail system in there. So that's all of that said and done. I'm just looking over at my notes. In fact, let's make the notes in front of me so that it looks like I'm looking at you, or just, right below you on my monitor. So, as for the real life stuffs over this past month, I think the biggest thing that's been going on has been the whole sale of my grandmother's house situation and getting the stuff out of it. That's been sort of dominant over these past few months, actually, since her passing. And it looks like at this point in time that the house is going to sell for $505,000 on a cash offer. The last time we met, I mentioned that we were waiting on an appraisal before listing. The appraisal came in a lot lower than we were hoping for, but it wasn't precisely accurate because they didn't actually include like 3 of the bathrooms in their appraisal. For some reason, they listed the house as having 2 bathrooms. It's a 5.5 bathroom house. Or 4.5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4.5 bathroom house. So in a appraisal, half baths tend to get counted as like full. So it would have been 5. The number should have been 5, not 2. So it's like, oh, you've missed 3 bathrooms that are a part of bedrooms. They are integrated bathrooms and bedrooms in the new part of the house. The house was renovated a while ago to add an entire section to the house that had a big cathedral ceiling with skylight parlor area, a gigantic garage, and 3 bedrooms, including a big master bedroom, and all 3 of them have their own private bathrooms. It was a big renovation when it happened, and there's a deck outside, a shared deck for those bedrooms. It's rather nice, although aging, and there's a lot of issues that need to be taken care of with that house. It needs a fresh renovation that will cost a lot of money. But as it turns out, our interested buyer that I mentioned last time is the interested buyer and has offered a cash offer of 505, and we are going with that. However, all the stuff needs to be removed from the house, including all of the appliances, and that's going to be not fun. Not fun as my allergies take effect. This is, by the way, the 3rd of October, in the early morning, right before 9 a.m. for me, and this video is going to go up around noon on this day. I have coffee. I'm going to be drinking my coffee over this, just because there's a lot to talk about, and yesterday I was recording for like, I don't know, 7 videos, and when each video is between 30 and 45 minutes long, yeah, you can do the math there. That was a long time recording. So, because all this stuff needs to be moved from the house, and we want stuff and furniture from that house, and we need to get it done relatively quickly, my mother decided that she wanted to go back between the 10th and the 18th of this month as sort of her best time to be able to go out there for her schedule. And because this is the last time that we are going to go there, that she is going to go there, it is the time to move the furniture. So I have to go to be the muscle. My uncle has a bad back after a motorcycle injury. He's had a bad back forever. He's, I think, partially paralyzed on his neck in particular. He doesn't have range of motion on his neck from side to side. So he can't do heavy lifting. Neither can my mother do heavy lifting because she also has a bad lower back. And my mother's boyfriend has refused to go again, but he also isn't supposed to do heavy lifting because of, well, A, his age, but also his health. He is also not capable. I am the young muscle around here, and the only grandchild that can help with this for that side of the family. So yeah, I have to go. I have to leave. I will be gone between the 10th and the 18th, up to Massachusetts to help with packing and loading of a 15-foot U-Haul truck, and that my mother will be driving because I don't have a driver's license. I don't have a driver's license, so that's the other thing, is that this time she'll be driving the whole way up and the whole way back, and that's gonna be interesting, to say the least. So what that means is that I will not be around to stream on the 11th, 13th, 15th, and 18th of October. But I am in the process, the reason I was recording so many videos yesterday, I am in the process of making sure that I have enough videos to cover the entire time that I will be away over the week of Columbus Day, or whatever your regional equivalent name change has been over these past few years. So no streams there. Getting those videos recorded. So expect all of that going forward, as my allergies continue to make me even more tired right now. Anyway, you may, if you've looked at those dates, you'll realize that the 11th and 18th are both Sundays, which means that I would miss 2 weeks of Pyblock streams. So because it's been really low viewership, I have ultimately decided that the 4th, tomorrow, as of the day that this video should go up, I will be ending Pyblock. It will be my last Pyblock stream on Sunday, October 4th, 2020. Let's make that completely clear. Pyblock will end, and Space Angels will take its place for the foreseeable future once I am back from Massachusetts. And as for one final topic for the day today to cover regarding Twitch, and regarding all of my stats and things, the YouTube stats I mentioned last month were down along with the Twitch stats. They have recovered due to mostly the Grastorio series and Space Angel series getting plenty of views by comparison to the Pyblock series, a lot more views. So that's been really nice. I'm up to 1,045-ish subscribers now on YouTube. Everything has been going quite well on that front. Not so much on Twitch. Twitch stats continue to decline. So I have been considering and have ultimately decided that once I finish this Space Angels series, I will be streaming on YouTube any series that I do after that. So whatever we decide because I will have a poll near the end of Space Angels. Whatever we decide should be the next series to stream, it will be streamed on YouTube. And I have several reasons for this. In particular, well, the stats on Twitch have been declining recently. That's pretty obvious. But I also have I have way more people following me on YouTube that can get notified when I go live. There's 1,045 subscribers on YouTube versus the 260 followers I have on Twitch. So there's a bit of a big difference there in the audience. But also, Twitch discoverability is non-existent, pretty much. I mean, think about it. How often do you actually go to a video game category on Twitch to find a person who is streaming? Versus, how often do you find a person streaming who you have been directed to by YouTube from someone with many thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of subscribers that has sent people to their Twitch stream? I think that is far more common for Twitch than anything else, than natural growth. I'll caveat this by just saying that this is for people who stream video games and who just are streaming gameplay. It's actually really difficult to grow as someone who just plays games on Twitch. If you do something completely different and off the walls and new, yes, you can grow, and yes, you can get all that good stuff going on for you. You can grow quite rapidly if you're doing something that's new and entertaining. But if you're not doing something that is brand new and completely entertaining and just playing video games somewhat well, the discoverability just isn't there on Twitch. Not to say that YouTube is good at this, but it is better than Twitch. Let's also make that clear. It's not as if YouTube is the best at discoverability. It's also not that great, but it's better than Twitch, and that's really what matters here. Also, YouTube has, in my opinion, a much better overall viewing experience than Twitch. I have just come to this rather sad conclusion after spending a lot of time watching people stream on YouTube versus Twitch, and as a platform, I honestly these days think that YouTube is a bit better. Uh, the chat client is weak on YouTube, but I do much prefer the video player, in particular because the YouTube video player, when watching a live stream, allows you to scrub, just go right back to the very beginning of the stream and set it to ×2 speed until you catch up to the live part of the stream. Like, you can't do that on Twitch. You have to go to the VODs page. You have to go into, like, do several clicks to get into the video page on a channel and click on the currently streaming video, which gets locked to how long the stream has been when you click on it, so that once you get to the end of that video for the live stream, you have to refresh the page and then seek back to where you were, and then continue watching until you reach the point in which you hit the refresh button again. And you have to keep doing that over and over and over again until you get close to the live part, and then just end up skipping whatever few minutes until the live stream is going on, if it's still ongoing. It might have ended by the time you get there. So yeah, I hate trying to catch up with a live stream live on Twitch. I hate it. I hate it. It's a terrible experience. It's much easier on YouTube to do that. Also, YouTube memberships, which are the equivalent of Twitch subscriptions, have a better revenue split, 70% to 50%, YouTube versus Twitch. The emote slots scale up a lot faster, the number of emote slots, with number of members than on Twitch. Twitch, the breakpoints tend to be every 5. And on YouTube, the early counts, it's like almost as if you get one every member early on. It's rather nuts just how quickly the membership emote unlocks scale, which is always a good thing. Although, note, you can only use the emotes on live chat on videos. Apparently you can't use it on actual channel comments, which is absurd. I wish that you could, if you are a member of a channel, you should be able to use their emotes in regular comments on regular videos. It makes no sense whatsoever why you can't use the emotes for a channel on a channel's comment section. Like, what? That's an oversight, honestly. That should be a thing. Although you do get loyalty badges as well, and apparently you can see the loyalty badges in the regular comments. Like, what? That okay. That just proves the point. Like, well, if you can do it for the loyalty badges, you can totally do it for the emotes. Anyway, as for the memberships, I am in control of what memberships cost, as well as how many tiers there are and what tiers there are. I can set it to be whatever price. It doesn't have to be $5.99 or $4.99 for the basic tier on it. It doesn't have to be the equivalent of a Twitch subscription. And because there's a difference in the revenue split, I can very comfortably reduce the price of a normal membership on YouTube versus Twitch. So instead of being $4.99, I could make it like a dollar less, $3.99, or even $2.99. Really, I'd see a little bit less out of that, but hey, I can do it. I can do that, and still see an equivalent amount in the end, roughly equivalent amount in the end from that sub. Or I can make it even lower and attract far more people and get more emote slots in the process. Like, yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. And then, of course, there's also the super chat system, which is a direct tipping system that highlights your chat during live streams, which seem to be pretty popular and used quite often on Twitch streams. So on Twitch streams, on YouTube streams. So that is a thing, and I don't really consider it an equivalent to cheering or bits on Twitch. Super chats are their own completely separate thing than bits and cheers. They work very differently. They are a direct tipping system, whereas bits have an extra few steps involved with it. Bits, you buy bits, and then you give the bits. Here with the super chats, you just give money straight. It's just a straight transaction. You just give money, and that's it, with no intermediate step. And YouTube takes a cut. Obviously, I believe it is 70-30, the same split as normal. So do keep that in mind. You see all the money from bits, but you also pay the fee basically when you buy bits. That's the thing about bits, is the fee is on the buyer of the bits rather than the receiver of the bits. With super chats, the fees are on the receiver of the super chats. I think I could be wrong. I could be a little off on that, but I'll find out pretty quickly once I have everything set up. I technically have super chats enabled right now, even though I don't stream and I don't do premieres. So yeah, that's a completely unique system and YouTube doesn't have a direct equivalent to bits at the moment. So, as my allergies continue to make me sound very, very nasally, you may also notice, just a side note, the audio has changed slightly. I am now using a compressor in my VST host setup that I have on my other TV next to me, on my actual TV next to me versus my monitors. This has had the effect of overall increasing the volume on my videos and improving the audio quality, if I could actually talk with a normal voice at this point in time. But anyway, with that said, if you have any ideas as to what the memberships should look like, if I should include multiple tiers, what the price of the base tier or any other tier would be, and then what should be offered to it, because that's the key thing about memberships, is that you need to offer something extra over more than emotes for some reason. Like, more than just access to emotes. They require you to do something, some like membership only post on the community tab of YouTube uses that. But yeah, that's a thing. I'm thinking the basic tiers, like posts for the members only on the community tab, would be the basic thing. But let me know about anything else down in the comments. With that, I think I've basically covered everything that I want to cover, that I remember, that's been on my mind for this past month, as well as the time frame going forward. I do not expect this transition onto YouTube to happen in October, just to make that clear. Just because I'm going to be away for a whole week, as well as Angel's Bob Space Extension, while a lot shorter than a Pie Sweet series, definitely will take some time to get through, especially if I have a set production goal that I'm going to try to get to. I haven't decided what that would be yet, but I will need to get to it at some point. And it will take some time. So I'm foreseeing maybe this transition might happen in a couple months time frame, within that general idea, depending on exactly how long it takes to get through Space Angels. But with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. Thank you again to all of my supporters that have been scrolling over here on that top corner. If you have enjoyed today's video, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below. Answer the the question I've posed regarding the memberships and all of that. If you are interested in following me on Twitch, I do stream at twitch.tv/Otaku Showboat for the moment. And you can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/Otaku Showboat if you are so inclined and able. And I will, of course, see you all on the next one. No. See you all in the next one.